Hello everyone, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here to talk to you about something I just found out that is very interesting. And the thing that is so interesting is Colin Mallory was supposed to be Quin's, not his brother, but his clone, and he was supposed to be a sleeper agent for the Kromaggs. When I found this out, I was shocked. Sci-fi writer Mark Scott Zicree, he's very well known for doing stuff with Star Trek, Babylon 5. He's a big sci-fi writer for TV shows and books and stuff like that. Anyway, he came up with the idea in the very first episode of the fourth season, Genesis, where Colin, instead of being Quin's brother from Kromagg Prime, Colin was supposed to be a sleeper agent for the Kromaggs. In season 2 episode, The Invasion, after the Sliders get kidnapped and taken hostage by the Kromaggs, they take a DNA sample of Quin, and it's from there they start creating the clone. And they didn't really know where he was from. They didn't know he was from Kromagg Prime at that time. So instead, they wanted a sleeper agent that could infiltrate them and portray them at a certain time. And this wasn't just some kind of like hunch or like just some idea they had. Like, this was actually set in stone from the very first episode of the fourth season all the way until Lip Shits Live. So it's kind of freaky knowing that Colin was technically a clone of Quin's, which is kind of weird because, okay, Jerry and Charlie, they are brothers, but one's older than the other one. And, I think Jerry might be the older brother, but, Charlie always looks a lot older. He sounds older, and he has a cleft in his chin, which Jerry does not. So it's kind of like that would have been a weird clone type thing because, they don't really look alike, but they do. What they should have was have the clone be Rembrandt's. That's what they should have did, because we all know that, I'm going to butcher his name, Clivon, the guy who plays Rembrandt, he has a twin brother in real life named Clinton. But they look exactly alike except for their hair, because Clivon, he has like a Jerry curl, and Clinton, he has more like a typical black, like matted type hair. So it would have made more sense for them to do that. But of course, Jerry is the star of the show because he's the lead actor, and he's also a producer, so they went with him. So for the longest time, this was set in canon stone. And he was supposed to be gathering all this information on the Sliders, and he was supposed to portray them in the last episode of that season called Revelations. And after he portrays them, I don't know what would have happened after that, because, Jerry left after that season, and then they just got rid of the Colin character because Jerry left. So it would have been really, really, really interesting to see what would have happened if Colin was like a bad guy this whole time. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad they didn't go that route, because I like Colin just the way he is. He's a goofy, lovable, dorky kind of guy. And, if he would have betrayed them, then how would they ever like trust him afterwards? They would probably write something where, he saw the error of his ways, and then he betrayed the Kromaggs, and and then he's joined the group as like a full member, and that would have been interesting, but still they just didn't go that route, which I'm kind of glad they didn't, but it would have been so cool to see. Now, the reason why it didn't go that route is because the executive producer, David Peckinpah, God, I can't pronounce that dude's last name, he decided to veto the entire idea and just say, screw it, he don't like it, just go with the whole Colin is just, Quin's brother. And the reason why that got vetoed in the Lip Shits Live episode is because we finally get to see a double of Colin, like a legit double, not where like Charlie like guest stars in like the other season, but like a legit like double of Colin, which is one of the funniest episodes of that entire season. And I will be talking about that later in my Valentine's Day episode. But yeah, like, I don't know, like, would y'all have wanted to see, like, Colin as, like, a sleeper agent and portray the Sliders? That would have been, like, so, like, dramatic and groundbreaking for that time, because they were playing the series a little bit more seriously at that time. But like I said before, I'm kind of glad they didn't do it, because it's kind of like I don't want to see Colin in that light. You know, he's like a little puppy. You don't want him to turn vicious when he gets older. All right, well, I'll talk to you later.